Hello everyone, thank you for checking out this video. Welcome to my channel. My name is Chris. We look at all kinds of outdoor apparel here from big companies like Arc'teryx, Patagonia, Rab, Helly Hansen, Cortezoo, Norrøna, Scarpa, and I even have a bunch of videos on Maui Jim sunglasses. So it all ties into my website, meandmyjackets.com, where we look at what to wear when we're outdoors doing all kinds of fun activities like hiking, trekking, climbing, snowboarding, skiing, camping, fishing, all that fun stuff. We look at different base layers, jackets, pants, boots, as well as backpacks and sunglasses, right? Everything we need to keep us warm, dry, and comfortable when we're outdoors doing all those fun activities. And it just helps to make our experiences out there a little more enjoyable, right? So I have a ton of videos here on this channel. Please use the playlists where I have different categories of videos broken down, so hopefully help you find things a little bit easier. All right, so please take some time, check all that out. I really appreciate all your support with both this channel and my website. Today we have a really cool video for you. I hope it's going to be really helpful. I hope it's going to be something that can give you some good information. Today we are doing a video about 4 different types of hiking boots from Scarpa. So if you're not familiar with Scarpa, Scarpa is an amazing company. They're out of Italy. They make incredible hiking boots, mountaineering boots, ski boots, climbing shoes, as well as all kinds of other approach shoes and just everyday kind of mountain boots, right? Or shoes, I should say. Really, really nice stuff. These boots are built like a tank. I have owned a couple pairs here for several years. I love them. They've been amazing boots. So we're going to talk all about them here today. So as I said, I have 4 different types of hiking boots. We're going to kind of compare and contrast all of these and hopefully give you some good information. So if you're in the market to purchase some of these, this might hopefully help you out to decide which one might be right for you. Okay, so first let me start off here. I'll tell you what we have. We have an old pair, my old pair of Scarpa Zodiac Plus GTX. These have been awesome. I love these boots. I've had these things now for about 2.5 years. I use these things and abuse these things, and they have kept my feet totally comfortable and dry and breathable. Awesome. I wear them all the time. I have those. We're going to take a little stretch here. These are also a pair of boots that I have owned from Scarpa for a couple years now. This is the Ribelle Tech 2.0s. So these are kind of unique. We'll talk about these a little bit later. They're kind of a cross, like a hybrid between a mountaineering boot and a hiking, trekking kind of boot. Okay, so we'll get into these a little bit, but I wanted to include them here in this video just simply as something extra because I have them and they can be used for hiking and trekking as well. We also here have the Scarpa Kailash Trek GTX, which is a really popular hiking and trekking boot from Scarpa, as well as the Mescalito TRK GTX. So this is a newer boot that's only been around now for a year or two, but it's really an amazing shoe. So we're going to compare all 4 of these and tell you, how they're similar, how they're a little bit different. Okay? All right, so for reference, I have a size of 46 in these shoes. A size 46 in the Ribelle Techs, a size 46 in the Kailash, and a size 46 in the Mescalitos. And they fit me perfectly. All right, really nice. The Zodiac Plus GTX, and please excuse their appearance, they're really dirty, but they're really used, okay? And they've been awesome. So these here, they do run a little bit smaller. So I actually got a half size up on these. These are size 46 and a half, and they fit me beautifully, all right? Just the same as all the rest of these do in a 46. So while these three pairs are true to size, the Zodiac Plus GTX runs a bit smaller. So as I said, I did size up a half a step to make them just perfect. Okay, now where to start here? Like I said, we're going to start with these. These have been the first pair of Scarpa boots that I've ever purchased. I own a landscape business. I build koi ponds, water gardens, waterfalls, all that kind of stuff. I wear these boots probably 300 days of the year. Okay, maybe not quite. 275 days of the year. All right. They get a lot of use and abuse. I am in dirt, I am in mud, I am in water, I'm in wet grass, I'm in gravel, I'm in mulch, I'm climbing on rocks, I'm cleaning ponds, you know, I mean, these things have been through the ringer, right? I gotta say, these things are awesome. Okay, I love these boots. I would buy another pair of these things in a heartbeat. Now, they have a Gore-Tex liner. Okay, all three of these, the Zodiacs, the Kailash, and the Mescalitos, all have a Gore-Tex membrane inside them that makes them waterproof and very breathable. Now, these Ribelle Techs have something a little bit different. It's called H-Dry. It's an H-Dry membrane. It's supposed to be the same kind of thing. Again, I have not had an issue with these things as far as my feet getting wet or, you know, sweating and being really hot. I will say that these are a little bit warmer than all these. They do have a light insulation lining inside them. Not a very heavy insulation, however, but these three boots here really are not insulated at all. Okay, so again, not for severe, you know, cold, ice, snow, mountain, high alpine conditions. That's not what these boots are about. These are more for hiking and trekking in fair weather, okay? I mean, it could be raining, you know, it could be a little cold out. It can also be 90 degrees, all right? These boots are definitely going to keep your feet nice and warm, or comfortable, I should say. They are very breathable. Now, that on that same note, these boots, I wear all year, all summer. It can be 90, 95 degrees outside. I'm wearing these boots. I get home and my feet are not stinky, smelly, and sweaty, okay? They really breathe incredibly well, and they really, really are waterproof. They really keep my feet dry. And I have not done anything to these boots as far as any kind of treatments or sprays or anything on them to enhance the waterproofing. I haven't touched them. They've been awesome. All right, so I have a bunch of other videos here on these boots and updates over time since I've had them to kind of tell you, you know, how they've been. But really, really great. Now, these boots here basically have a kind of a cross lace pattern here across the toe. They have a rubber rand in the front. It doesn't totally wrap all around the boot, but it is, you know, around the front of the boot, and it has a nice protective coating here on the back as well. Really nice, tough suede. It's built like a tank. I mean, these things have been great. So these are probably the most flexible of the four, okay? That being said, I mean, it's still a boot, okay? So it's not like wearing a sneaker. It's still a boot, but it is definitely, a more flexible boot for walking. And probably, I would say this is going to take more use in a lighter terrain. I mean, dirt, sandy, a little bit of gravel, but not really, it's not really designed for real rough and tough terrain, okay? But every day, hiking, trekking through the woods, trails, beautiful, awesome shoe. All right, so that's the Zodiac Plus GTX. From there, let's go to the Kailash. So the Kailash, this is the Kailash Trek GTX. They also make a Kailash Plus GTX, which is more of a leather boot. This has a suede upper as well. All three of these do. And this has a nice breathable, stretchy material here on the top and on the tongue. And it has a nice rubber rand here on the front, protective coating here in the front, with an extra, like, I don't know what you want to call this, toe guard, or, basically it's part of the sole of the shoe that comes up over the front for a little extra protection, I guess for rocks and stuff like that. So that's a really nice feature on here. And on the back, it doesn't have quite as much protection. It has a little different design. It has this tough material here around the back, but it has these openings, which kind of more design and style, but still, a really nice boot. The tread on here is very similar to the Zodiac Plus, but it's a little more aggressive. It has a similar tread, but it has more cutouts in it. So it just gives this boot a little more aggressive traction. Okay, again, this boot is meant for long distance hikes, for comfort. It has that Gore-Tex membrane. It'll keep your feet dry. It has a really nice lacing system. It has a locking lug here on the side, so you can tighten the bottom half up nice and tight, lock those laces in, and then keep the upper half of the boot a little bit looser. All of these boots have that kind of a nice feature. This one here, though, does not, but we'll get into this whole lacing thing here in a bit. But the Zodiacs, the Kailash, and the Mescalitos all have that locking lug here in the middle. So you can lock those laces in and adjust the tension on the top half and the bottom half of the shoe as you wish. Yeah, I mean, this has been one of their most popular shoes over the years. Definitely. It's been around a while. It's very popular. It's one of their best-selling shoes, and there's a good reason for it, right? Now, this one, possibly a little more stiff than the Zodiac Plus GTX, not by a big amount. It's still a very walkable, comfortable shoe, or boot, okay? Waterproof, breathable, really, really cool boot. Now, just so you guys know, I do have full-length videos on each one of these separately, so if you're interested in any one of these particular boots, you can check out, my videos on them. They go into a little bit more detail. You can check that out. All right, finally, the Mescalito TRK GTX. All right. So this is a newer model that Scarpa has put out. It's only a year or two old. The Mescalito line has always been big in their approach shoes. So they've kind of taken that Mescalito approach shoe and put it into a boot that's more designed for long treks. It has extra cushioning here in the sole for if you're carrying, heavy backpacks, you've got a lot of weight on you. It's a little more cushioned sole, but again, it's a little bit stiffer I would say, just a little bit stiffer than the Kailash, which is a little bit stiffer than the Zodiac Plus GTXs. Okay, this is a really cool boot. There's a lot of nice technology in this boot. So, you know, definitely check out my other video on this shoe, because there's a lot of information on it. So this one has a full rubber rand all the way around with the PU material here around the back, extra cushioning, and this has a certain cutout here. This is a special, well, first let's say this. This suede that's used on this is different than on these two. It has a special suede called Perwanger suede, which is from another company that is known for making suede that is very durable, and it has a very smooth and consistent surface that helps to repel water, resist water really well. That, along with the Gore-Tex membrane that's in here, it's really pretty amazing. As I said, it has a cutout here. And this cutout and around the top of the shoe is a different type of material called a Schoeller Dynatic fabric. So it's a more stretchy fabric that is very breathable. It's a very tough fabric. But what's really neat is it's kind of temperature regulating. It has, it's windproof, it's waterproof, and it allows your foot to, or the boot to, basically adjust to different climate conditions. And that's what Scarpa calls the sea change technology. It adapts to environmental conditions to allow more or less moisture vapor to pass through, which keeps your foot more comfortable in different weather. So really cool technology here in this boot. So that's basically, you know, this Mescalito. Now, the tread on the bottom here is, again, a little more aggressive than the Kailash and the Zodiac Plus GTXs. Now, the reason why I say that is Scarpa describes this sole as being made for more rugged conditions. Okay, so while it is not, like I said, a full-on mountaineering boot, it's probably at the higher extreme end of rugged handling capability of a hiking trekking boot. Okay, it has a softer, I feel that it's a softer rubber material on the bottom. So that little bit softer material seems probably more likely to have an ability to adapt and grip to more rock and rocky conditions a little bit better, I would think. But again, it is a multi-purpose outer sole here that's meant for everything from dirt to mud to gravel to rock to water, the whole bit. Okay, but Scarpa has just, you know, said basically that this is going to be a little bit more tougher, a little more rugged terrain boot. Okay, so that's basically it in a nutshell here on these three different popular hiking boots. Let me quickly get into these Scarpa Ribelle Tech 2.0s. So again, you know, excuse the picture here, they are really dirty. I'm showing you some newer pictures up here in the back of all my older boots, so you can see what they look like when they're new. This is a really interesting boot that is basically designed as like a hybrid between a mountaineering boot and a hiking boot. So the reason why I say that is basically it has a different design that is a little more flexible than a really rigid hiking mountaineering boot. However, it is still a more rigid boot than any of these. Okay, it definitely has a little bit less flex than any of these. But they have a really cool design here. If you notice the lacing system on here, it doesn't go straight up the shoe. It kind of curves around your foot a little bit. It kind of comes up the side. It's really, really pretty interesting. It allows for extra comfort, basically. All right, it wraps around your foot really nicely. This boot too is built like a tank. Now this has the tread on the bottom here is a true mountaineering tread from Scarpa. They use this same tread on a lot of their heavy duty, you know, really serious mountaineering boots. So definitely really nice here on the bottom. It has a full rand all around the boot. It has cramp-on capabilities here on the back of the shoe. And it has, what's really different is I was talking about, all these boots have what Scarpa calls a sock fit, which is basically where the tongue is stitched into the actual body of the shoe. So it's not a separate flap, a separate piece in the front. It's all stitched and sewn together. So it's almost like a sock when you put your foot in here. This boot takes it to an extreme. Probably, let me say, the one thing that I dislike the most about this boot, it is an advantage and a disadvantage. It has this crazy fit here. It's basically just a round hole. It's a little stretchy, okay? But your foot goes in there. It does not have a tongue that's folded into the front that you can pull out and stick your foot in. You literally have to stick your foot through that little hole here in the front, okay? And it has these two hoops to stretch and pull the boot over your foot. While the thing I don't like about it so much is that it does take some effort to get your foot in and out of this thing. I have to sit down and I have to have like the leverage to push my foot down into it and pull up with my other two hands. So it's a little bit different to put on and take off sometimes. It's kind of tight. Again, I got to be sitting, I got to have some leverage and really pull this thing off. However, the flip side is, once your foot is in here, it's really nice. Like this wraps your ankle, it wraps around, it feels, it's like it's a sock. It's absolutely a sock, okay? So really nice seal. It allows for, it's a softer material, so it allows for some nice flexibility around your ankles, right? So it allows for movement. While this orange part that comes up here is a little more rigid, you know, this flexible material here all throughout definitely allows for a lot of movement. So kind of a shoe that's good for hiking because it's very comfortable, but yet it's a little more rigid for climbing, for higher alpine activities, but it gives you this flexibility that's meant for moving fast through the mountains, okay? So really, really unique shoe here in this Ribelle Tech 2.0. So I wanted to include this in this video simply because I have done hiking in these as well, and they're used. They're pretty dirty. And these have been great. So basically for me, I have worn, and I wear these to work as well in colder weather. So basically my thought was I have these Zodiac GTX Pluses for most of the year, through the spring once it warms up, through the summer into the fall until it starts getting really cold. Then I wear these when it's in colder conditions. Now these do have a light insulation inside. However, they are not, you know, really heavily insulated. So I have worn these boots to work on days when it's like in the 20s. And you know, the ground's frozen, there's frost on the ground and stuff. And after a while, my feet start to feel a little cold. Okay, so now that's not, I'm not wearing like big heavy warm merino wool socks or something like that. I'm just wearing normal socks that I wear to work. So I'm sure if I wore a heavier, better sock, it would be more comfortable as well. But it's just something I wanted to point out. It has insulation, but it's not a super heavy, really, really warm boot. But certainly capable of colder conditions, snow conditions, a little tougher, mountaineering stuff / trekking, okay? Very cool boots here as well. All right, so I hope that gave you some information. We looked at, 4 different boots here from Scarpa. Definitely the Zodiacs, the Kailash, and the Mescalitos are very common, popular hiking, trekking boots. They all have a little bit of differences. These are probably going to be the lighter ones. This is kind of like a medium grade, do everything, kind of go everywhere boot. And then the Mescalitos are same thing, trekking boot for everyday, all-day situations, but a little more capable of tougher, rugged terrain, and also some really cool technology in here. So very cool stuff. All right. So I hope this video helped you out a little bit, answer some questions, and showed you the differences between these boots. I'm trying to do my best here to help you out. Like I said, I do have separate videos on each one of these boots here from Scarpa, so you can check that out for a little more detailed information and all that. Otherwise, I thank you for watching today. Please hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, if it helped you out a little bit. You can hit that thumbs up and help me out. As well as subscribe to the channel if you're into all this stuff, if into the outdoors and different jackets and pants and boots and all that fun stuff. Please subscribe, take some time, take a look around, check out my website. Hopefully there's some really good information there to help you guys out. And thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you back soon. And have a great day and enjoy being outdoors. Take care. Bye.